speaking with Mike Fisher, who helped put away Ted Bundy back in the 70s, and I'm just going to ask him a couple of questions here. Mike, can you tell us what your background with the city of Denver or the state of Colorado was?
Well, it wasn't necessarily with the city of Denver, but I was the chief investigator for the district attorney's office of the 9th Judicial District, and that encompasses Aspen, Glenwood Springs, and Meeker, Colorado, and those counties.
Okay. How did you get involved with the Bundy case?
Well, I was assigned to the case the night that Karen Campbell disappeared, and that was one of his murder victims in Snowmass, Colorado. And from that day until the day he was executed 15 years later, I worked at routine.
Bundy escaped from the Colorado authorities how many times?
He escaped twice. The first time was in 1976 in the courthouse in Aspen. He was captured, returned to the jail, and then he was transferred due to a federal regulation that was imposed on the Aspen jail. And they held him in Garfield County at Glenwood Springs, Colorado. And it was on New Year's Eve that he escaped from that jail. That was the last time that he escaped here.
Okay. Bundy was apprehended in Florida, and at this point, what was your involvement in his prosecution?
The prosecution, I was involved in the prosecution that was ongoing here after we returned him to the state of Colorado on a murder charge, because I was, in our district attorney's office, was the first to file murder charges. After his escape, obviously we lost jurisdiction because he was being held in Florida. All we did at that time was supplement and feed information to the law enforcement agencies, the Tallahassee Police Department, FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and as well as the Sheriff's Department, Tallahassee. And we also we were supplying information and procedure things to the district attorney there in Tallahassee.
Are there any interesting tidbits of information that you could add about the Bundy case?
Well, you know, one of the most often asked questions, how does anyone so either articulate or good-looking become what he was? And it's something that develops within a person at a very young age and then progresses. It's not just something that comes about overnight. And those things and those elements in the psyche are developing with power, control, in his case with his fantasies with terror, and terrorizing his victims, not just the murder and the sexual assaults, but also acting out vignettes with them and playing with them. And often these victims lived for as long as 36, 48 hours after they were abducted. And he was a necrophiliac. He returned to the bodies for the purpose of not only sex, but even after the bodies weren't in a physical state to allow sexual intercourse. He'd return to them anyway, just to look at them. They became almost trophy-like. He photographed each one of those victims.
And you did spend some time interviewing him?
Yeah, I interviewed Theodore Bundy the first time in Salt Lake City after he was arrested for botching the Carol Garage kidnapping, and after that, I interviewed him there. I interviewed him again at the penitentiary in Point of the Mountain, Utah, where he was being held at the time of the arrest. And then when I transported him back to Colorado on the murder charge for Karen Campbell, you know, I saw him on a day-to-day basis because when we were in court and I had a lot of conversations with him, as being the chief investigator for the DA's office, I had to provide discovery to him because at that time he was pro se. And then after his escape, I didn't talk to him again until he called and asked me to come down personally. I talked to his lawyer, I talked to him, and I went down and took the confessions for the Carol Campbell murder case, as well as the Denise Alverson murder case that happened in Colorado in the city of Grand Junction. Because he actually committed 3 murders in the state of Colorado. Karen Campbell was the first, January 1975. I believe it was March. He took the Cunningham young lady from Vail, Colorado, and then Denise Alverson from Grand Junction, Colorado, in April of 1973.
From all your conversations with him, what was your take of him? Did he have delusions of grandeur, or
he had certain certain elements? He was very compartmentalized in his thinking, and in reality, he became his own worst enemy. He was not as intelligent as he perceived himself to be. He could have probably been a better lawyer, and he would probably have raised a better defense had he been able to just let his lawyers deal with the system. They know how to deal with it. He did not. He complicated things. He had a real fascination with being able to control things, and that interfered with his ability just to convey trust to his lawyer, as an example, to defend him. He just couldn't do that. And, in his compartmentalization, it really robbed him of the ability to see on a broader perspective, a deeper field of view into a problem, or into a legal issue. And he really